Hi Taurus, thank you for joining me and welcome to this reading for July through December 2018. I hope you guys are having a wonderful year, and here is your spread for the entire year. So if you want to watch me read this spread for you, then go in the About section down below and watch the interpretation of all of the cards. I do have them down here to give you guys an overview. Also, I am doing a special astrology reading for the second part of the year. That's also linked down below, and that is for July through December. So check that out in the links down below. But as a big overview for what's going on in your life this year, there's an event that happens probably in the beginning part of the year, maybe by the second quarter. So maybe by March or April 2018, you'll be seeing the manifestation of some type of significant change or ending come through in your life. So by the time you're watching this, this is coming over and into a completion, and now you're moving past in a new direction. When do you start moving past in a new direction? I really believe that that's going to happen when the sun moves into Taurus, which is going to be about mid-April or mid-April, right? So that's going to be preceded by Venus, so it's going to be a little bit before it's Taurus season. So look for April, mid-April or so, things really starting to pick up for you. And so that's going to lead you in a specific direction with a lot of hope and opportunity and growth. And Jupiter will move into your house of change by November, and that's just going to increase the velocity and the intensity of this event happening in your life. And so expect things to improve for you in a great way. And for many of you, relationships become very important in the latter part of the year. So this reading is going to look at that as well as other things. The thing about this reading that was super exciting was this part here, which is your social life. You have 777, which is an angelic number of blessings, and so that is the main energy is the sun, and it's modified by the high priestess and the wheel of fortune. So what that means for you is that in your social life there are key people and key players who infuse your life with goodness. Expect that to start happening in your life as soon as the transits start rolling through Pisces. So you can watch my videos for when that happens with Mercury or Venus, but definitely we're looking at probably February through March, this kind of infusion of love into your life, hope, opportunity being given to you by people around you. Remember, at the center of the reading we have the star, which is destiny. This really is a year about destiny for you, and it's going to guide you to the Emperor and to exactly where you need to be in life. So just trust that the direction that you're going is a good one. Trust that this is exactly what you need out of life, and life is going to provide you that support. Just as a reminder, the chakra here is the heart chakra, or the Yam mantra. So watch the first video in order to have a review of that. So I did do one more other reading on Instagram late last year, and you guys can still check it out. It was a post on Instagram using the horoscope spread. Many of you guys know that spread. And so what I did was I went into each of the houses of the horoscope spread, i.e. each of the part of your life, and then I did a separate video for each of the houses explaining to you what was going on in that area of your life. So if you're interested in that information, it's either on Vimeo for rent, in which case thank you for renting and supporting me and the channel. And if we've reached 500 hearts on Instagram, then some, if not all of those videos will be released for free on YouTube. So if you don't want to spend the money and you want to see them for free, then go to my Instagram, which is also linked down below. All this stuff is in the About description section, and go and click through to either Vimeo or to the Instagram post and get that information. So that's a full horoscope spread with a specific video for each house in your chart. So I was a little extra. I kind of overdid it. But anyway, so today what we're going to do is we're going to use the Tarot of Dreams and the Cosmic Tarot to clarify. This is a reading just like the December 2017 reading that I did for your sign. I'm just double checking that I have all the information that I wanted to share with you today. I think that's it. Wow, we got through it. Okay. I make so many mistakes that every single time I do a reading, I second guess myself. Okay, so why don't we use the Tarot of Dreams? This is the higher arcana only, and this is a reading for you for the latter part of the year, specifically July through December. Now, I'm not a stickler for specific dates, so if you're watching this in June and you're like, that makes a lot of sense to me, then you definitely want to, you know, use that energy. You want to use that energy moving forward, okay? Okay, so let's take a look at your cards. And I'm shuffling. Now this is the entire high arcana from the Tarot of Dreams, which means that you'll see every single card come up, including the Devil and the Death card. So please don't worry as it does. And I'm not going to hold each one up so close for you to see. If you want to see it more closely or see the detail, just Google it, or better yet, get yourself a deck. Your first card is the Last Judgment card. Powerful position. This is akin to the Magician card, so you are having this wonderful energy right off the bat. The next message is the Chariot. Okay. And then the Emperor. Okay, that's interesting. This is a little bit Joan of Arc action here going on. And then we have the next card, which is the Moon. Insight and intuition guide your way through this latter part of the year. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I did do an astrology video. I think I mentioned that at the beginning of the video for July through December, and that's linked down below. I will be making comments about the astrology for the latter part of the year, but I'm not necessarily going to be showing the chart to you guys. So if you're curious, maybe before watching this, you may want to watch the astrology video, and it's comprehensive, only 10 minutes long. Here is the next message, the Death card. Okay. This is the Strength card. All right. And Justice. Okay. Very litigious kind of second part of this reading. Now we're going to the second row, the Empress. All right. And Temperance. And the Hermit. So you're still in the second half of the year, still spending a lot of time alone, but you're really falling into feeling as though that's a good option or a good pattern to you. The Lover's at the center of the reading. That's really exciting. And then we have the Wheel. I thought this was the back for some reason. The Wheel of Fortune bringing you fairness and justice. That's a really good card. The Fool. This is where it begins in the latter part of the year. And then we have the Tower. That's a very significant point. So if someone has been creeping on you, Taurus, if someone has been like slowly trying to, you know, get in close or get a piece of you or get a piece of what you're about, then that's really going to end by the end of 2018. The Hanged Man. I know it feels like it's really far away, but I don't feel like this person's there all the time anyway. The next message, they're a kind of by the way stalker, you know, when they're in the area, they'll just kind of hang around the world. I hate those two. And then we have, this is your card, Taurus, the Faith card, the card of the Hierophant. And this is a really strong position. You're going to grow into yourself this year and be very strong. The outcome is the Priestess or the High Priestess. Very good card for that position. The Sun. Wow, this is like a double whammy here. I think that in the latter part of the year, your life really picks up. And then we have the Magician. Okay, and then the outcome is the Devil. Okay, Devil, Tower, Justice, the destruction of the stalker. Okay, cool. And then the outcome, there you go, saving grace and the Star. So out of something bad, something new begins, something grows, and something that's quite lovely and freeing, emancipatory, right? So there's a freedom that is reached, something that you have been deserving of, and something that's been a long time coming. So, okay, so let's take a look at the spread. The primary concern for the latter part of the year is love. So you are very focused on love, or maybe a Gemini person who's very important to you in your life. This is about overcoming challenges by being honest with yourself. You will be bringing things in from the world abroad. So like expanding your horizons, bringing in different approaches to things, different philosophies, different ideas in order to diversify your portfolio with regard to how you approach things. The next message is that you are empowering yourself to move forward in many directions. There's a great change and transformation that is happening around you. A big part of that comes from sitting within yourself, meditation, prayer, focusing on the direction that you need to go in. Okay? I feel as though there could be some kind of situation, I know which one, the devil, that keeps holding you back. There's something that keeps holding you back, something that's not necessarily letting you get away and do your own thing. And I feel as though for a long time you felt as though it was acceptable and passable, something that you accepted and was willing to live with. This could even be your child, a child that you were choosing to continue to take care of, even though they may be an adult, or maybe they were they should be self-sufficient. But you've been self-sacrificing, and that's become your kind of what is the word? That becomes your ball and chain, right? So your restriction. And I feel as though it's important in this lesson for you to recognize the good thing that you're doing and how that is turning into a responsibility that is not healthful for you or the other person anymore. And now you've gone into the stage of enabling, well, participating in codependency on your end of the bargain. Okay? And then, so this is all about recognizing within yourself how easy it is to break forward, break through commitments that you've made to yourself and others. So the Fool here, the jester, is just a moment away from breaking free from his cage. He just needs to make that choice to leave. But by fear or by, a busy mind, he's not able to break forward. And by the way, the tower is called the Tower of the Devil. Not necessarily, it used to be called, some people refer to it as Tower of God, but it's actually the Tower of the Devil that's being shattered here, which means, because the Tower of Babel was not necessarily such a good place, but it's a contorted metaphor, and what it represents is the things that are not forthcoming to us, from us, need to be replaced by healthful things. And it's funny how I repositioned the star, and that lightning strike is coming straight into her picture, and she is it's almost like a new universe is being formed at the end of the year. Now, these cards are very powerful at the end. There is going to be a large life event that happens for you or to you at the end of 2018. If you're waiting on a divorce, that's going to go through. If you are waiting on some other legal decision, that's going to finalize and come together at the end of 2018. Okay, so let's take a look more at this section, and then we'll work our way forward. So we already talked about some kind of sacrifice that you were making for another person. At first it was noble, and then slowly as you continued, it started losing its purpose. It started losing its gallantry, and it started becoming something that is quite restrictive, or possibly limiting, or maybe the judgment is turning around on you, and it's saying, oh, you think you're such a nice guy or girl, Taurus? Well, look at it from this perspective. So life is challenging you to take a look at your own, how do you say this, at your own ambitions for being generous. And I know that's really funny because there's not enough generosity in the world, but the world is giving you some kind of challenge. It's saying, think about how your behavior is enabling a situation. Think about how maybe it's spent its time and how you require the type of attention that you're giving towards someone else. So I think that this starts off the year, you're way past that now, and now you are moving into a much more directed place, and we'll talk about that then. But there was a synthesis that was going on at the beginning of the year in which you were really trying to mold and meld together different facets of the things that you wish to achieve. Now that was a lot of work, and it required a lot of personal time, a lot of separation, trying to figure out exactly where things fit and how. You had noble ambitions. You were almost, how do you say, idealistic, trying to push forward towards your goals. I think that matriarchy was a huge aspect of your life. Matriarchy is the leadership of women. Either you were in a position of power, or possibly women around you were the dominant players in the environments you participated in. And I feel as though you had felt alien from that situation in one way or another. It's not that you resent women as leaders, but it did not feel necessarily like the right thing or the right situation. Okay, and so I think that you drew away knowing that it was not the right situation for you, and then spent some time in kind of reminiscing or trying to identify within yourself a direction that would work well for you, right? So 50, and then through doing so, you identified within yourself things that were of value to you and things that were important to you, recognizing the direction that you were meant to go, right? So it's insight and intuition about which alignment, which philosophical alignment was the right direction for you to go. Connecting with spirit, connecting with practical learning, and empowering yourself. All those things were the key step that you took probably in the last preceding months. So like maybe May or June, etc. Okay? And then in the present moment, what we're seeing, or the main core energy, has to do with alignment of family and raising the importance of family relationship, trust, joining together towards a common goal, and moving forward in new directions that are more communal or more organized, maybe going back to a relationship. Definitely if you're married, your marriage is very important at this time. That's the primary thing that you are preoccupied with. If you are in a very stable relationship, it could feel elusive still. You could feel like there are other things that are in some way, kind of interjecting. You could be worried about if you have a masculine partner, if you have a male partner, then you could be worried about their fidelity. And so this is something that you're working through. Maybe there were issues of fidelity in the past, and so I feel as though you're trying to search your intuition about the nature of your dynamic together. Now, if you're the male partner, I feel as though you are in a certain way feeling maybe tempted or wondering about where your relationship is going and whether this is the relationship that you want to invest your time and energy into for the long term. I think you know that you want to invest your time and energy into this relationship. However, I do feel as though that is complicated by other feelings, other ambitions, and also kind of psyching yourself out about the way the world is, and not necessarily believing that this is a direction that will get you to your other goals. You feel overwhelmed, in other words. I think that you feel a little bit overwhelmed, overstimulated. You feel as though it's a very kind of big thing to make decisions on, and you don't necessarily know where to confirm or commit to yet. So I feel maybe some of that is a part of this current energy that you're wrestling with, and you're trying to search your intuition, search, you know, the understanding of your partner or your relationship, of whether it is solid enough to pursue. And so for some of you, I'm going to jump to the end here. The answer is that the relationship is meant to break down. And but for others, it may actually be the act of overcoming your doubt or your partner's doubt. That is the purpose. Whichever step, whichever road you end up taking, the outcome is the star, which is destiny. It's soulmates, aligning yourself with the ideal partner and beginning the right phase. So I said this in the Vimeo reading, the Instagram reading, the astrology readings, and the first year, the whole year overview, that I feel as though 2018 is a preparatory year. And it's not just a transition year like any other transition year. It's one that is really creating the platform from which you will gain fruit from in 2019. And I feel as though this is really like almost like grapes. I don't know if you have ever grown grapes, but the first while, or many fruit trees or bushes, they don't yield fruit on the first season, and so you have to cultivate them in order to gain the benefits of that. I feel 2018 is you've just planted in some kind of cherry bush or something, and you're waiting for it to mature so that it starts yielding crop. And so 2018 is providing that nourishment to the plants in your life's garden, you know. And so taking care of yourself, knowing that at a certain point you're going to see the outcomes. For some of you, school is coming to a definite end. It's either in the process of, you know, some kind of graduation, but for many of you, this is going to be an end that has to do with it not necessarily working out, it not being a good fit anymore for which the direction that you are going, taking a new direction that is more suitable for you in life. So maybe that phase of a life in which school was such a huge part is changing. If you're not in school right now and you're thinking of going back to school, I would suggest that maybe for the latter part or for the second semester in the fall, it's really a good idea to maybe hold back on enrolling, but making plans for long term in the future. So this is about kind of creating, eroding the soil. Let's go with the gardening motif again, but like in some way plowing the land and preparing it for the next year's yield. So this is not necessarily such a clear path for initiating school and school issues, but it's one in which you can do a lot of work if you do wish to go to school in a later term. So maybe in the spring term or the winter term, I'm not sure what you call that, but in 2019, in January, it might be a better time. I feel as though if you try to pursue school right now, then you may feel as though there are a lot of unexpected challenges to that, or difficulties that you will have to contend with. Okay, so the next energy is the maintenance of good luck and fortune in your life. And I think this position and this position is really important. You are going to have a fundamental change that will lead you to good things, and that fundamental change will get you away from any kind of darkness that you're enmeshed in, any kind of limitations. I think that there's possibilities that are coming in for you that are freeing and soothing, and I think they're leading you in good directions, and there is a lot of hope. Here we see a new beginning starting for you, and I feel as though the new beginning happens right before the tower. So the new beginning starts, boom, and then the tower happens, total change and transformation. And in that you find a soulmate, you find a twin flame, you find the right path that you are meant to go on, and boom, right at the end of the year you have that consolidation. But first, what must happen? You must make a very critical decision. This is the Magician here, and the Magician is informed by a Strength card. This could be a Leo person in your family who's informing you of some really a big truth, or maybe you are identifying with your family, family truths, and knowing how to finally move forward on a situation or circumstance. Regarding matters of justice and overcoming, you are now ready to persevere. You're going to look straight into the windows of that tower, and inside those windows are the scariest things that you can imagine for yourself. So it's really an act of bravery that you're called upon in order to tap into at the end of the year. You'll feel as though there's great limitation on you in life and the directions that you wish to go, but I feel that that's the moment where like an angel comes through, or like a saving energy that is in some way ready to bless you and give you hope and take you in a better direction. So you are going to have that moment of the knight on the shining horse come through. So this got really long, and I hope that it's okay because it became a very robust reading, but I do have the Cosmic Tarot to clarify for you. So why don't we take a look first at the Death card here, okay? Taurus. I feel as though you're getting much more empowered this year, and in particularly the latter part of the year. So this is the moon, which is right beside the moon. So we have, you know, kind of hidden feelings, hidden agendas. There are secrets that are being kept that you don't necessarily know about. And I think as though you're shy to show who you are to the world, shy to show what your agenda is. And here we have the Devil come through. So there's definitely some kind of energy that just popped up. I want to place this. It feels like it should go here. That there is some kind of energy that is duplicitous, or maybe darker, or maybe you're dealing with some kind of energy that wants an influence upon you. It wants to limit your freedoms, limit your possibilities. We have the Tower, which is the Knight of Swords, a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. I feel as though this is a necessary step to break through and break away from circumstances that are not good for you. The Star is the Four of Cups. Something is being offered. So there's definitely going to be something offered to you in a moment of need. And let's see, the Devil. And the Devil gets the Tower. So let's see what's... Wow, so a real destruction, a real turmoil, a real breakdown of some kind of order. Let's see. Six of Swords. So you're going to figure out, I feel as though there's a great barrier in your life, Taurus, and your life may be wonderful in 2016. It might have vibrancy, might have all these different facets to it. You might have great happiness and joy, and yet something's holding you back. And I feel as though that's a prior commitment, something that you have promised to be. The perfect example is, I don't know if you know this term, but ride and die. So when people think that they are a ride and die, which means that they'll like be with someone until they'll have fun with someone, and then they'll also die with someone. So it's like a loyalty thing, and people get kind of caught up on that idea, and they forget that if a situation is toxic for them, they should not stay in it. There's loyalty, and it's almost like saying that you've offered up your heart on a platter, that you've made that commitment to someone, and let's say that they're not doing anything for their life. Let's say that they are completely abandoning their responsibilities and their trust in the situation, and they're just sponging off of you. And if you're in that type of situation, which it really feels as though you're with someone who knows that you are loyal and is riding you out for every single piece of energy that you have. And so I feel as though it's necessary for you to in some way manage that situation, and if it's your choice, to move past it to a situation that is going to reciprocate, a situation that is going to give you more feedback, more kindness, more understanding, and more love. And I feel as though you have to kind of fearlessly go through that door, not knowing what's going to be on the other side. I feel as though there is some something or someone with whom you have a great conflict. It could very well be the Prince of Swords, a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. And this person has a mean streak. They have... See, the devil comes through. The devil, and this is closely tied to the devil as well. And so, and with that comes the Tower, the destruction, and then obscuring. So it's the moon. So there's like obscuring of vision, and then there's like limitations that are caused as a result of not being told the entire truth, and that leading to things crumbling and not working out. So be really cautious in the latter part of the year with whom you build trusted commitments, because Taurus, it looks as though maybe some of those things are not necessarily as trustworthy as you may want to believe in the time being. The next message is the Three of Swords. I picked that really for the Prince of Swords. So it feels as though he has a broken heart, and he could very well be an Aquarius, but I feel as though he has like a vendetta because he feels as though he's been wronged or he's hurt, and that's his way of dealing with the situation. Let's see what the outcome of that is. Ace of Wands. So I'll leave this part just clarified with the Ace of Wands. There will be a there will be a clear new direction for you to take, enlightenment in a direction that will be much more suitable for you. Let's clarify the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Seven of Pentacles, and this has to do with long-term investment, you know, saving up of money, investing towards something bigger, being careful, taking your time. Whatever it is that you're kind of piecemealing together throughout 2018, and a lot of it is done on your own personal time, is going to manifest forward. And right at the end of the year, it looks like there's a challenger to that saying, no, Taurus, you know, this is I'm going to hold you back still some. I'm going to still hold, and you're like, heck no. And it's kind of entwined with a broken heart. It's kind of entwined with like, you don't want to break their heart, and they're using that against you. How could you do this to me? Well, I want to be free, and you're not letting me be. And whenever I try to be let free, then you pull the Three of Swords out on me and you complain of a broken heart. Well, I'm kind of done with that now. Thank you. See you later. Goodbye. You know, and through that process, you are being given some new outcome, a prosperous new outcome. There is a significant amount of celebration around you, having fun, enjoying yourself, being inspired. Kind of, there could be a frivolous trip that you take in 2018. A frivolous trip means like a trip just to go somewhere in the world that doesn't really have a reason. You're not going to see your in-laws, you're not going for a wedding, you're not doing anything but just being ridiculous. So let's see the Lovers and clarify that. We have the Wheel of Fortune. So there's the backbone. This is funny about all your readings, Taurus. The backbone of all this is a great partnership that sees you through all of these things. And this partnership's always in the background, and Jupiter's there in your 7th house of partnership all year through until November. And this is the card of Jupiter, seeing you through situations, and boom, a challenger. There is going to be, and be careful of people giving you, there's going to be love. This jumped out when I was saying there's going to be, but it feels as though whenever something is going on for you, you have someone in waiting, someone who is waiting for you to kind of fall down so they can stick it to you, so they can re-inject themselves in your life and be relevant to you once again. So it's just someone who's waiting, who's trying to in some way perpetuate a relationship that you see as ended. And it really feels like, I made that joke of a stalker, but it's low-key stalking. Now, I don't think you guys are going to be harassed and stalked or something terrible like that, but it's like low-key stalking, you know, that kind of like always available someone to someone who's always available, who's always gonna in some way come to you, and they seek your vulnerability in order to in some way hurt you, or in some way to propagate or to bring forward their thoughts and ideas. And you're just like, I want to be free of this. I don't want to be a part of this conversation anymore. Thank you very much. Here is the next message. We have the Two of Wands. Now this is, you see perspective. I don't think that this is good. They're going to try you, but they better not try you because you're bringing the wand. Hey girl, hey. Yeah. So what that means is that if somebody's going to try you yet again to hold you back in a situation or circumstance, Taurus, and I feel as though with kindness and love, you're going to shut them down. You're going to shut them down, and you're going to move forward in a better direction. And it's to do with self-love, because this person's not bringing any love. They're just opportunists. They're just like, well, this is convenient, so let me do this. But we have the Star come through again, maybe in this section or this one. Family, love, overcoming. Trust your North Node. The North Node is going to be in your 4th house this year, and then in November in the 3rd house. Sorry, communication. So when that transition happens, your focus in life, the direction that you want to go, is changing between your home and your family towards communication and towards brothers and sisters. This feels so much like a brother energy. It's crazy. Or a sister, sibling energy. So be careful how you share your thoughts and ideas to a sibling. This could be overcoming a broken heart about a sibling also, and finding a soulmate to help you reconcile that. So it's not necessarily that the person is bad, but maybe this person has in some way afflicted you, or your relationship with them has afflicted you, and there was a great loss associated with that situation. And I think that it's necessary for you to really this year, in the latter part, accept all those losses, accept everything that is happening to you and around you in a realistic sense, and move forward. Anyway, I hope you guys like this reading. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And yeah, I hope YouTube's still around in July when I post this. But yeah, Taurus, thank you so much for everything. I hope you guys have a wonderful July through December. And thank you again. Take care. Bye.